These history facts sound fake, but they actually happened. History is often taught as dates, names, and battles. But when you slow down and really look at it, history becomes something else entirely. It becomes strange, uncomfortable, sometimes unbelievable. These are not myths. They are not internet rumors. They are documented historical events that sound so fake they feel like they were invented for a movie. From animals standing trial for crimes, to people dancing themselves to death, to wars fought over objects so small they feel meaningless. Every story in this video actually happened. Take a breath, because history is about to get very weird. Fact 1. Medieval Europe put animals on trial. In medieval Europe, animals were treated as moral beings, capable of understanding right and wrong, and when animals committed crimes, they were arrested. Pigs were charged with murder. Horses were accused of assault. Rats and insects were summoned to court for destroying crops. These trials were not symbolic. They followed real legal procedures. Animals were assigned defense lawyers. Witnesses testified. Judges delivered verdicts. In 1386, in the town of Falaise, France, a pig was accused of killing a child. The pig was dressed in human clothing, mutilated as punishment, and publicly executed. To medieval society, justice had to be seen, even if the criminal wasn't human. Fact 2. Cleopatra lived closer to the moon landing than the pyramids. The Great Pyramids of Giza feel connected to Cleopatra. They're not. The pyramids were completed around 2560 BC. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC. The moon landing happened in 1969. Cleopatra lived roughly 2,500 years after the pyramids were built and only 2,000 years before humans walked on the moon. When Cleopatra was alive, the pyramids were already ancient ruins. History doesn't move in neat chapters. It overlaps in ways that completely break our sense of time. Fact 3. Napoleon was defeated by rabbits. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered much of Europe, but one day he lost to rabbits. After a military victory, Napoleon's men arranged a celebratory rabbit hunt. Thousands of rabbits were gathered and released, but they weren't wild rabbits. They were domesticated. Instead of running away, the rabbits charged. They swarmed Napoleon and his officers, climbing onto their legs, tearing at clothes, refusing to retreat. Napoleon tried to flee, but the rabbits followed. One of history's greatest military leaders was forced off the field by fluffy animals. Fact 4. A war was fought over a bucket. In 1325, the Italian city-states of Modena and Bologna went to war. The cause? A wooden bucket. Soldiers from Modena stole a bucket from a well in Bologna. Bologna demanded it back. Modena refused. Diplomacy failed. Armies gathered. The war involved thousands of soldiers and ended with massive casualties. Modena won and kept the bucket. The original bucket still exists today, displayed in a museum. People died for a bucket. Fact 5. A Roman emperor made his horse a politician. Emperor Caligula ruled Rome with fear and unpredictability. His favorite companion was his horse, Incitatus. The horse lived in luxury. Marble stables, jeweled collars, blankets dyed purple. Caligula planned to appoint Incitatus as a consul, one of the highest offices in Rome. Some historians believe Caligula was insane. Others believe it was calculated. Cruelty, a way to humiliate the Roman Senate by proving a horse could do their job. Either way, Rome nearly had a horse in power. Fact 6. Europeans ate mummies as medicine. Yes, you heard that right. For centuries, Europeans believed ancient mummies had healing powers. Ground-up mummy remains were sold as medicine for pain, bleeding, and illness. The practice was so common that Egypt's tombs were looted and destroyed to meet demand. Even royalty consumed it. King Charles II of England drank a mixture containing powdered human skull. Ancient bodies, preserved for eternity, were eaten. Fact 7. One man survived both atomic bombs. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. When the atomic bomb detonated, he was thrown into the air and burned. He survived. Injured and bandaged, he returned home to Nagasaki. 3 days later, on August 9th, the second atomic bomb fell. Yamaguchi survived again. He lived until 2010 and was officially recognized as a survivor of both bombings. History rarely gives second chances. He survived too. Fact 8. Vikings worshipped cats. In Norse mythology, cats were sacred. The goddess Freya rode a chariot pulled by giant cats. Cats symbolized fertility, protection, and good fortune. Harming a cat was believed to bring disaster. Vikings brought cats on ships to control rats, and for spiritual protection. This belief helped spread domestic cats across Europe. The feared Vikings trusted cats. Fact 9. The Great London Smog killed thousands. In December 1952, a thick fog settled over London. It didn't lift. The air turned yellow and toxic. Visibility dropped to a few feet. People collapsed in the streets. Hospitals filled. By the time the fog cleared, over 12,000 people were dead. The disaster forced the UK to pass clean air laws. It was one of the deadliest environmental events in history, and it happened quietly. Fact 10. Romans cleaned with urine. Ancient Romans washed clothes with urine. Urine contains ammonia, effective at removing grease. Public urine collection points existed throughout Rome. The practice became so profitable that Emperor Vespasian taxed urine. When criticized, he reportedly held up a coin and asked, "Does it smell?" Clean clothes, funded by P. Fact 11. The dancing plague. In 1518, people in Strasbourg began dancing uncontrollably. They danced for hours, then days. Some collapsed from exhaustion. Some died. Doctors believed the cure was more dancing, so they hired musicians. The dancing continued. The cause remains unknown. Mass hysteria, disease, or poisoned grain. Hundreds were affected. They danced until their bodies gave out. Fact 12. Pineapples were once feared. Yes, really. When pineapples arrived in Europe, people feared them. They were rare, expensive, dangerous. The spiky leaves caused injuries. Spoiled fruit caused sickness. Pineapples became a status symbol. Some people rented them for parties without eating them. A fruit once seen as deadly is now sliced and sold everywhere. History isn't simple, it isn't logical, and it certainly isn't boring. If these facts surprised you, remember, this is only a fraction of what really happened. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more stories that sound fake, but aren't. Because the past is stranger than fiction. Thank you for watching.